What if I told you that Nintendo's hardest, most unfair Mario game was quietly inspired by the most infamous nuclear disaster in human history? What if Super Mario Bros., The Lost Levels isn't just hard mode Mario, but a symbolic retelling of the Chernobyl incident? Sounds insane. Until you start lining things up. Chernobyl happened in April 1986. The Lost Levels released in Japan in June 1986. That is a 2-month gap. 2 months. Game development takes longer, sure. But design changes? Difficulty tuning? Visual atmosphere? Tone shifts? Those can be adjusted late in development. So Nintendo drops a suddenly darker, crueler, more punishing Mario game right after the world witnesses the most catastrophic nuclear meltdown ever. Timing like that doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in the shadow of something big. Compare the Lost Levels to the original Super Mario Bros. The original is friendly, inviting, forgiving. The Lost Levels? Poison mushrooms. Wind that pushes you into pits. Invisible blocks over death traps. Warp zones that send you backward. Levels designed to psychologically break you. This is not fun challenge. This is hostile design. It feels like a world that actively wants you to fail. A contaminated environment where familiar rules suddenly become dangerous. Just like areas around Chernobyl. Normal land. Suddenly lethal. The Lost Levels reuses assets from the original Mario. But everything feels wrong. Platforms are placed unfairly. Enemy placement feels malicious. Warp zones punish curiosity. It's like the Mushroom Kingdom after an unseen disaster. Same world. Different rules. Nothing behaves the way you expect anymore. That's how people described post-Chernobyl zones. Familiar towns. Unfamiliar danger. The land looks the same. But it isn't safe anymore. After Chernobyl, the world became paranoid about invisible threats. Radiation. Fallout. Contamination. In the Lost Levels, invisible blocks kill you. Trusting familiar mechanics kills you. Exploration is punished. Curiosity gets you wiped. The game trains you to be afraid of the environment. That's nuclear-era psychology. Fear of what you can't see. Fear of what used to be normal. This isn't just difficulty. This is anxiety coded into level design. Nintendo didn't release the Lost Levels outside Japan until years later. Official reason? It was too hard. But think about the tone. Dark. Punishing. Cruel. The West in the late 80s was already terrified of nuclear disaster. Cold War. Fallout drills. Nuclear paranoia. Dropping a Mario game that subconsciously reflects environmental hostility and hidden death? That might not have matched the happy, safe brand Nintendo wanted overseas. So they swapped it with Super Mario Bros. 2, USA. Which is colorful and weird but not hostile. Different vibe. Safer vibe. The Lost Levels looks radioactive. And it feels contaminated. The rules of the world are broken. Trust is punished. The environment lies to you. That's the emotional logic of nuclear disaster storytelling. Nothing glows. Nothing explodes. But the land itself is wrong. And that's way more unsettling. So did Nintendo literally sit down and say, "Let's make Mario about Chernobyl"? Most likely. Creative work absorbs cultural trauma. The loss levels came out right after the world learned that modern technology can permanently poison a landscape. And suddenly Mario's world becomes hostile to the player. Same kingdom. New danger. Nothing works like it used to. That's proof and a pattern. So next time you die to a poison mushroom, just remember. That's not bad game design. That's nuclear anxiety in pixel form. Or maybe it's just Nintendo being evil. Both explanations feel equally valid.